On Sunday, Barcelona were held to yet another draw. This time it was Ossasuna who secured a 2-2 draw against the beleaguered Blaugrana. Xavi Hernandez's start to life as the club's new manager has got off to the worst possible start, with the Catalan giants stuck near the bottom half of the table. While Lionel Messi was sad to leave the club after it transpired that they could not afford his wages, it is becoming clear that the Argentine legend dodged a bullet. He might not be scoring as freely as he usually did during his time at Camp Nou, but at least the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner is not playing for a team that has so many off-the-field issues to deal with. Manchester United have been dealt quite the poor hand after it transpired that a few of the players and members of the coaching staff tested positive for the dreaded virus, which we shall not name. Regardless, Ralf Rangnick is still working on identifying targets for the upcoming transfer windows. Borussia Dortmund are aware that they will lose the services of Erling Haaland at some point, and the Germans have started to look for alternatives. Joao Felix was unable to do much as Atletico Madrid lost the Madrid derby 2-0. The Portuguese attacker is struggling to play at a level we know he's capable of, and feels that he should be leaving Diego Simeone's side. So we've got a whole truckload of stories to tell you about, so if you like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay informed by pressing the bell icon. While his third season in Madrid is already well underway, we're a little bit disappointed at Joao Felix. We can say it, he's not necessarily better than when he arrived from Benfica. In short, there is a certain stagnation at a time when all the other prodigies of his generation are booming in the four corners of Europe. A change of scenery could be beneficial for him, rather than necessarily persisting in succeeding at Madrid, where there is no further indication that he will have an important role in the years to come, especially since, even if he still enjoys a certain benevolence on the part of his supporters, those of the other teams constantly troll him, and don't hesitate to remind Atletico fans of the money that they paid to sign the former Benfica man. It must be said that the competition is tough on the side of the Wanda Metropolitano. Normally, Simeone works in a 3-5-2 formation with two purely offensive players. There are therefore two places for Luis Suarez, Antoine Griezmann, Angel Correa, Mateus Cunha and Joao Felix. Knowing that the importance of the first two can't be ignored, and that the Argentinian is ultra decisive when he plays, and that the Brazilian is getting better every week, it's difficult for the Portuguese international to really get an indisputable starting spot. Even more when we know that Atletico do intend to recruit an attacking player next summer, with the name of Dusan Vlahovic being cited by major media outlets. Therefore, it is high time for Joao Felix to leave Atletico and go to a club where the playing philosophy is in line with his talents. We're sure that there's loads of clubs out there who would love to get their hands on a player and unlock his abundant potential. Earlier in the week, outspoken super agent Mino Raiola said that the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Manchester City are the ones who could sign his current cash cow, Erling Haaland. While some Borussia Dortmund fans still have this crazy dream of seeing the Norwegians start the next season in yellow and black, their numbers must be dwindling. Inevitably, Michael Zorc and company will need to find a replacement. With a nice check that they'll receive for their star player in the coming months, the Bundesliga giants might already be looking at alternatives. This week, the German media announced that Red Bull Salzburg and Borussia Dortmund have found an agreement over the sale of Karim Adeyemi next summer. However, those reports still seem a little far-fetched because BVB have not agreed to the Austrian club's financial requirements, which value the young German at €40 million. It is being said that the BVB management is no longer hopeful of keeping Haaland beyond the current campaign and will go all in for Adeyemi, who is slowly becoming one of the most talked about young players on the planet. Following their win over relegation contenders Norwich City on Saturday, it was reported that several members of the Man United playing squad and a few of the coaching team had tested positive for the wretched virus. This means that the team's upcoming Premier League game against the newly promoted Brentford is now in jeopardy. But that's not it. During the game against the Canaries, centre-back Victor Lindelöf was seen clutching his chest. The Swede was promptly replaced by Eric Bailly. It was later revealed that the former Benfica man was struggling to breathe and had to be taken off as a precaution. However, the player is now doing well, but it remains to be seen whether he will be risked in the upcoming weeks. The current season has been difficult for Edinson Cavani. Handicapped by physical glitches, the Uruguayan could only play 231 short minutes of the league with the Red Devils, still scoring a goal. However, this does not prevent Barca from wanting to sign him in January, and to replace it, numerically in the workforce at least, and to strengthen itself, the Mancunian management has a nice shopping list. The Daily Mail has a list of targets too. First of all, there's Erling Haaland, who is a great replacement, but is not necessarily a credible option for the winter transfer market, since his future is likely to be played out in summer. Joao Felix, whose future is starting to be talked about on the other side of the Pyrenees, is also among the players coveted by the Red Devils, especially because he's lost his starting position in favour of Antoine Griezmann. Also in Spain, Alexander Isak, the Swedish striker for Real Sociedad, is a player the Red Devils like a lot. And that's not all, since Manchester United are also monitoring Timo Werner. So many interesting names that will require big money, but to move up the rankings and not finish outside the top 4, Ralf Rangnick and the leaders of United will probably have no other choice. On the 17th match day of La Liga, Ossasuna welcomed Barcelona to El Sadar. After holding Levante to a goalless draw last weekend, Jagoba Arasate's men were looking to make life miserable for the Blaugrana. Xavi's men headed into this encounter on the back of defeats against Betis and Bayern Munich. Arasate went for a 5-3-2 formation while Xavi opted for a 3-4-3, and to everyone's surprise started Samuel Umtiti in defence and Luuk de Jong in attack. Barcelona opened the scoring with Nico scoring his first La Liga goal. However, just a few seconds later, David Garcia equalised for the hosts. Stunned, the away side tried to regain control of the game, but were found lacking on many levels. During the second half, Abdi Azalzouli made it 2-1, and this was the moment where you would have expected Xavi's men to assume control. However, Barcelona clearly struggled in the final third, and were seen more worried about recycling possession than to take the game to their hosts. Eventually, Ezequiel Avila equalised for Ossasuna, which means that Barcelona remain in second place in the league standings, while their opponents climb to 10th place. Following the conclusion of the encounter, Barcelona supporters did not take kindly to the team's woeful recent record and aimed slurs towards the president Joan Laporta. A fan was seen calling Laporta a thief, and the 59-year-old did not hold back either and responded by calling him a son of a bitch. This is how far Barca have fallen. There were a few people who believed that the club's problems were Messi related, meaning that the Argentine's presence was something that was holding back the club. However, La Pulga has long left Camp Nou and is now playing for PSG. But ever since he left Catalonia, his beloved Barcelona have hit rock bottom. They're no longer the team that used to strike fear into the hearts of their adversaries, and they're sure as hell not playing like a team that craves silverware and success every season. Real Madrid, in contrast, continue to improve under Carlo Ancelotti, and their 2-0 win over Atletico Madrid showed that the capital giants have a plan and are working towards becoming a European giant once again. The same can't be said of Barca, who no longer have the money to finance moves for big players, and are now relying on teenagers to get them out of the woods. We're not saying that the likes of Pedri, Gavi and Ansu Fati shouldn't be in the team, but the thing is, you can't expect a young player to shoulder so much responsibility every week. That's why you've got experienced members in the squad. Unfortunately, those players at the club are not really leading the way. Memphis Depay started brilliantly, but has gone cold since, while Gerard Piqué, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets are no longer reliable with their powers waning. So yes, Messi did dodge a bullet, even though he had no idea what was going to happen this season. He might not be scoring goals for fun in France right now, but at least he goes back home every day with the knowledge that he doesn't have to put fires out every game week like he did at Camp Nou last season.